Hi everyone, my name is Lily Svoboda, and my project was in the Waste Diversion Priority Program area, and my focus was communicating and identifying barriers and challenges of composting in local restaurants. So my staff mentors for this project was Wynn Kalman, who's the Director of Waste Diversion at Yampa Valley Sustainability Council, and Nicole Pepper, she's a geospatial analyst, and she's the Internship Program Manager. So about me, I'm a sophomore at CMC. I'm majoring in ecosystem science and stewardship, new program. This is my second year of being president of the beekeeping club at CMC. I'm also in my second year of doing a work study at the CMC permaculture garden, Bear Park. I've always loved nature, and I've always loved spending out time while hiking, being at the lake, and snowboarding. So my partners for this project were the Yampa Valley Sustainability Council and the Sierra Club. So some background for the project. So our current waste diversion goals. So this is a quote from the Yampa Valley Sustainability Council website. In 2017, Colorado Solid and Hazardous Waste Commission set waste diversion goals that plans to increase recycling and composting over the next 20 years. Colorado is currently diverting 15% of their municipal waste, while the national average is 35%. Colorado's new goal is 45% recovery by 2036. Broward County is currently diverting about 13% of their waste. So some more important information to know is that when organic waste is discarded into the landfill, it produces methane, which is a greenhouse gas. The intention of this project is to divert organic waste away from the landfills to decrease methane emissions and to reduce the amount of organic waste in landfills so that it can be composted and used for another purpose. This project is a part of YVSC's Waste Diversion Priority Program area, and the funding to start the process of composting in restaurants was provided by the Sierra Club. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what composting is. The definition of compost is a mixture that consists largely of decayed organic matter and is used for fertilizing and conditioning land. Some elements that you need in the process of composting include carbon, nitrogen, and water. You can use items such as paper napkins, food soiled cardboard, and BPI certified compostable products for a source of carbon. Nitrogen can be found in the organic waste that is added. This can be food scraps and other organic material. Lastly, water is an important element that's required for composting. So some types of composting that can be done at home include vermicomposting, bokashi, countertop composters, and collection buckets. Vermicomposting is a process that uses worms to help break down organic matter. Bokashi composting utilizes fermentation to aid in the composting process. You can buy a special bucket that separates the organic waste from its liquid, which is called bokashi tea, and it's a great fertilizer. Countertop composters are machines that you can keep in your kitchen, and they will turn your food scraps into nutrient-rich soil within a few hours. Other ways to compost in the Yampa Valley includes collection and drop-off. People and businesses can collect their organic waste and take it to one of the local farms that accept organic waste drop-offs. They can also use Cowgirl Compost, which is a new facility in Hayden that commercially composts using turned windrows. This facility will be the way for the restaurants we are working with to compost their organic waste. Some of YVSC's roles in composting include the management of waste diversion methods, collaboration with community organizations and businesses, and community education and engagement, which includes events such as Pumpkin for Piggies, where you can drop off Halloween pumpkins, which are then given to farms and they feed them to their pigs. And then the zero waste events that are hosted by YVSC in the summer. Objectives for this project include the collaboration between YVSC and the Sierra Club to communicate with local restaurants about the process of composting, to communicate with local restaurants about their interest in composting, and to identify the barriers and challenges of composting in restaurants. The first restaurant that I worked with in this project was Cruisers. I interviewed and collaborated with Chris Shea, the owner of Cruisers. We discussed potential challenges of sorting organic waste in restaurants and what possible avenues for success may be. Cruisers is currently sorting the organic waste they're producing to help us figure out how many times they will need their bins picked up. Some project deliverables that I created for this project include a questionnaire that was used to interview restaurants. I used that for cruisers. I also created a compost guide poster, which is hung by the organic waste bin in restaurants. This poster describes what you can and cannot compost. With the help of Carolina Manriquez, I also translated everything into Spanish. I also created a chart for restaurants to track how much organic waste they're producing. This helps us identify pickup times. And Cruisers is currently filling out that chart. Key takeaways for YBSC to take from this project include that efficient and consistent communication with the restaurants and stakeholders is crucial in making progress. When considering potential restaurants, it's important to consider their interest in composting, their location, and their ability to compost, which includes how much staff they have available. Collaborating with restaurants to identify barriers and challenges is essential to developing a good plan to start the composting process. Some barriers and challenges of restaurant composting that I found include finding enough space for the organic bins and totes in the restaurants, training employees to properly divert organic waste. When we take the compost or the organic waste to the organic or to the composting facility, contamination is a huge issue in terms of making sure that the correct things are going to the facility. Seasonal changes, including fluctuation in weather, the number of customers, and the amount of organic waste produced. And then also shifts in waste management contracts, meaning if they are having their waste, like their garbage, picked up twice a week, they may have to change that in a good way to maybe a lesser number of times per week, just because they're diverting that organic waste that they normally send it, to the landfill. In order to move forward with composting in restaurants, we need to continue to identify challenges of composting in restaurants, continue to communicate with restaurants about their needs as the composting process progresses, and to continue working with the local restaurants in starting composting. Some personal takeaways that I had from this project include that I got to make a meaningful contribution to my community by acting on a sustainable issue. It's been really great working in waste diversion and working with the issue of food waste. It's really important. I gained important insights from my mentors. It was really great to work with Wynn and Nicole really close. I gained a lot of important knowledge and career advice from them. And I also gained hands-on experience in the field of sustainable work. Some other YBSC projects that I got to help out with was the Retree event. It's an event that invites community members to help plant trees to improve the health of the Yampa River. Some of this includes like providing shade for the river, which helps the wildlife in there, as well as like carbon sequestration. I went to the YVSC soiree and helped out, the soiree is an event that brings the sustainability community together. I also started initiating discussions for restarting composting at CMC. Due to COVID, mostly we had to stop that, so working to try to get that back. I also helped out at the new YVSC Hard to Recycle Depot with Wynn and Dakota. I would like to thank the Yampa Valley Sustainability Council for giving me this opportunity to work on such an amazing project. I'd also like to thank the Sierra Club for providing the funding for this project. I'd like to thank Wynn Cowman. She's the waste diversion director at YVC, and she was my mentor for this project. She was super great to work with, and yeah, just a great person. I worked with, and I'd like to thank Nicole Pepper, who's a geospatial analyst, and she's the internship program manager. So I worked with her very closely, and she was super great to work with. I'd also like to thank Michelle Stewart, the director of YVSC, for this opportunity, and she's just a great person with lots of great insights. And I want to thank Chris Shea, who's the owner of Cruisers, for his input on this project. Do you have any questions?